It is almost time for kids to head back to school, and if you haven't heard it enough already, this summer kids start to run out of things to do about now. In News 8's Parenting Today, Martha Koloski has more on how to banish the summer doldrums.
Well, it is almost nearing the end of summer. A lot of you parents may have heard from your kids that they're just bored all the time. But there is something called the gift of boredom.
Yeah, I believe in it.
Yeah, and there's also something called OSD. What's that?
Overscheduling disorder. It's not a real thing. We kind of made that up.
But that means kids who basically have things going on all the time, a lot of stimulation. Okay, so ask yourself this, parents. Okay, for instance, if you say yes to any of these questions, you're completely worn out from trying to help your kids participate in all of their activities, or your kids appear anxious, irritable, stressed, exhausted, or hyperactive, or your kids don't have enough time to contribute to the family by doing their chores, or your kids complain about being bored anytime they aren't being entertained.
If you answer yes to one or sometimes all of those, maybe we have OSD in our family. You know, life isn't always entertaining. And isn't it important to allow our kids to experience some boredom so that they can learn to deal with that? Rescuing them all the time robs them from that gift.
Yeah, you don't have to be their personal, entertainment device all the time and find them things to do.
That's true.
So how about some language? What can we say to kids? If I come to you as a child and I say, Dad, I'm so bored, what are you supposed to tell them?
Here's what I would say. I would say, oh, sweetie, what do you think you're going to do about that?
And they're going to say, I don't know.
Yeah, kids are really good at shrugging their shoulders and staring at their feet. I'll say, well, some kids decide to go out to the yard and pick up after the dog.
And they're going to say, that sounds terrible.
Well, even some kids, they dust the furniture.
And that's boring.
I know, and some kids find a quiet spot and read a book.
I don't want to do that. That's like school.
You know what, Martha? Some kids even decide to go down the room and just be sad about being bored. Hey, you know what? I love you too much to argue about this. Good luck. And then I walk away. Kids are really good at pushing our buttons by kind of playing this guilt trip. Give them some options and then move away. Let them figure it out.
And hopefully over time they know, okay, I'm feeling bored.
Yeah.
And after you go through this a few times, they'll get the idea that, I need to find something to do.
That's right.
Also, people should know that an overstimulated child or, an OSD family, their kids might have more problems in school because they've been so stimulated all summer long.
That's a great point. Traditional classroom isn't as stimulating as, playing ball or going to the aquatic center or watching screens all of the time. So it's important to give them that gift of boredom. And I say if you can't do it summer-wide, start in August. Give them that gift of boredom so that we up the odds that they can be more successful during those quote-unquote boring times in school.
All right, hey, thanks a lot, Chris.
Hey, thank you.
And if you want to know more about the gift of boredom, you can always head over to our website at news8000.com.